starting capsule. This is take 3 because we just go off the topic too much. Banjo tooie, go. I'm just not. Fuck the intro. Dylan laughed. Dylan laughed.
I would like to start this off by saying that, contrary to most people's belief, I do believe Banjo-Tooie to be the superior game out of the two classic Banjo games.
Which is why we cut take 1.
Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts, because let's be honest,
it was not Banjo-Kazooie.
Okay, now that you're reviewing, I'm gonna go do something not gay. I'll be right back.
Okay, hey, since you're doing something not gay, tell me how Nolan's doing himself.
Okay,
Since that's where you're going. Yeah. So I'm assuming we're just gonna start with abilities and techniques, which is video. Anything you can talk about in Kazooie.
Techniques, there were some, as opposed to Banjo-Kazooie, where, I'm going to draw parallels between the two games that I can do there, where you had just a few techniques and you really only used 2 of them. In Banjo-Tooie, you have a bunch of techniques, and you actually use them all quite a bit to solve various puzzles within the game. And I believe that that was one of my favorite parts of the game. My favorite part of the game, of course, being the sheer complexity of the levels and designs. But there were some very, very, very decent ideas within the constructs of the game, such as the pack sack and the splitting ability.
Yeah, Kazooie had some really awesome splitting abilities as well. Banjo had that little Banjo did have that really awesome sack pack, which Banjo's sack pack, and that is it. The sack pack where he gets, is that when he goes to sleep or when he jumps in his own backpack?
Sack pack is
oh yeah, killing people, huh?
Yeah, sack pack is carrying people.
Well,
it's one of the best parts of the game because you realize you can carry like 5 ton
also
tops in your backpack.
And also your backpack. And your backpack can also stand through acid, apparently. Oh, that's an awesome backpack.
And also, if you want to become some can't find it.
Yeah, that's also kind of actually broken in that game.
Yeah. Oh man, we're looking through videos right now. Oh god, we're gonna. By the way,
if we segue off track, it's because we're recording this at 3:25 in the morning.
Yes.
And 6:25 over there, so.
Yeah, actually, it's 3:25 here, so yeah. Blah blah blah. We should all break into song right now about Banjo-Tooie. Seriously.
Also, on the subject of music for the Banjo-Tooie, Banjo-Tooie had a better variation on the main Banjo theme, just because it's like do, oh I messed up, do, oh it's funny, and then just go straight into the Banjo-Kazooie theme, and I like that.
Sorry, oh.
Yeah, but it's they're interesting variations.
Yeah. Banjo-Tooie had a really awesome soundtrack, which I think is coming to iTunes and Amazon.com for hard copies soon, because it's just that awesome. All for that conversation now. It had a really.
There's awesome things you have to ignore. Such as let's break into sorrow.
Nobody on his channel will get that joke though.
No, no one will. But you can't. How can Banjo-Tooie is awesome because you get grenade eggs, you get to throw little clockwork eggs, and you're gonna be a fucking washing machine and throw underwear at people.
That's true. The transformations in that game were another one of its big strong points.
Along with the supporting characters, like
drawing another parallel to the original Banjo-Kazooie, but the variety in your transformations wasn't that large. The variety in the transformations in Banjo-Tooie is actually quite big. Because let's just break it down. The first level, you're a stone bear. That's your transformation. The second level, you become a freaking debt charge, which you basically suicide bomb people.
Yes.
So that's pretty original. Skipping over for a few levels because I can't remember most of them off the top of my head. When you get to Grundy Industries, you become a washing machine that shoots laundry at people. Who came
And
up with that?
yeah, and one of the coolest things of I actually really did enjoy the supporting characters like Mumbo Jumbo, which was really cool, and Back from 1, and Humba Wumba, which had a lot of she was pretty awesome in this one. And of course,
Comedy between Humba Wumba and Mumbo Jumbo was actually pretty good.
yes, and it's always fun to hear about those two whenever shit happens. Going into other supporting characters, you get Klungo as a villain, which I find him really funny as hell for some weird reason. You get, and at certain points, if you find Globos, of course, that, and the Mega Glumbo, which makes you a dragon! You
It was
get,
like the easiest thing to find, though.
yeah, and you get to become a Dragon Kazooie, which get,
Dragon Kazooie, which is a really deep voice.
yes!
Really deep voice.
But no, oh, by the way, subscribe to this guy. Anyways. And, yeah, there were really fun points in that game.
On to the big point, the big controversy about Banjo-Tooie is the fact that, as opposed to Banjo-Kazooie, where the levels are fairly simple,
Complex as
and there's
hell.
only one point in the game where you actually need to backtrack to get 100%. In Banjo-Tooie, the levels are much more complex, much larger, they all interlink, and you're required to focus on backtracking.
Yeah.
As much as going into one level to activate something, to go into another level to activate something, to go into another level to activate something, to go into another level to activate something to get a Jiggy.
Yeah. Or when you would... Also, one of the other interesting things that happened from 1 to 2 is the introduction of the Jinjo color families. Instead of just finding 5, you'd only get 1 Jiggy whenever you bring in a certain family, which is colored.
It kind of opened up more of the collections of items and...
Which is really what Banjo-Tooie was. That was Banjo-Tooie's big thing. There's always a list of items that you had to collect.
That was
Yeah.
the most N64 adventure games in general.
Oh, and a random fact about Banjo-Tooie. The placement of the Globos is all randomly generated.
Yeah.
So,
But-
even though the numbers of the families aren't randomly generated, the placement of the Globos are. Which Globo will be where is actually randomly generated, which is something most people don't know, because I don't think it's actually truly randomly generated. I think it's generated based on cartridge to cartridge. I could be wrong.
Yeah, which is really awesome for its time.
Yeah.
We didn't really expect this game to be so awesome. And the graphics still are awesome to this day. I really enjoyed Banjo-Tooie graphics.
Also, it had one of the biggest fun scenes ever because it's like playing platformer, first-person shooter.
Yeah, you walk in. You walk into the Mahayan Temple for the first time, and you see Banjo Kazooie's head, and you're like, "What's going? Oh my God, it's an FPS."
I think they actually used the same engine in GoldenEye because of Dark Souls. I could be mistaken.
Yeah, it was just funny as hell, and probably one of the coolest yet randomest scenes ever in games. We are hitting the 9-minute mark, by the way. So I suppose.
I've been talking to my ass about this game for like 50 minutes.
Well, since I'm doing something important, well, not really important, at the end of this video that was requested to me. Final thoughts.
Banjo-Tooie would be, like I said at the beginning, Banjo-Tooie is the superior game between Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. It is more complicated, there's more stuff to do, and it's all around a more enjoyable experience.
Yes.
Both games were like you said, yeah, I guess I could agree with you on this. I don't know, I really found myself playing Banjo-Tooie.
Yeah. Yeah, and since I don't have the necessary supplies, because I just remember that for my little joke thing that Austin dared me to do, that'll happen next review. My final thoughts on Banjo Tooie is the game was awesome. If you played it, which you should have as a child or whatever age you were when it came out, you already know how awesome that game is. You should go out and play it again. And
You also know how frustrating that game can be.
yes, and it was really fun and an awesome game. And if you haven't played it, play it. Ending video now. Bye everyone. Say bye.
You should subscribe to me at Shadowsteel22 at YouTube.
You shouldn't. Castlevania.
Solo.